I would describe myself as a twin, and back when I was born in the 60s, I was a premature. I was only 2 pounds. And back then, because I was so premature, my twin didn't make it. So I've always felt that there was a reason why I survived. My parents went back to school, and my mother finished up in nursing, and she got her nursing degree. And I remember her being pregnant with my baby sister when she was in nursing school. And so my dad went back to school, and he got his degrees in supervision and management. So education was always present in our household. We could not bring home seeds. I bet you did, and live to tell about it. You had, the expectation was that you were in an honor society. You were in the top 10 if you weren't in the top 3. You were president of something, and that was the standard, right? So that's all we ever knew. And so, so grades were very important. And then the way engineering came to me was Purdue came on campus to our high school, and the minority engineering program. Now, okay, me and my girls, we sitting there in the auditorium. We like, we gonna listen to what they got to say, because I ain't gonna be no engineer. I ain't driving no train. Mind you, I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I knew I wasn't gonna drive no train. Knew I wanted to make some money. Knew I wanted to have some nice clothes and a nice car. So we listened. And so they had the presentation of it. They're like, do you like to solve puzzles? I'm like, yeah. Do you like, are you good in math and science? Well, yeah, that's what we had, Well, you like that? You can be an engineer. And then they flashed up this red sports car, and that got my attention. Then they flashed up, then you can start making a starting salary of whatever, right? Back then, that's nominal now, but back then that was excellent money. Oh, I did like this. Oh, that's how I got the engineering. So I knew I was going to Purdue, knew that, and was able to experience Purdue for a summer through the Upward Bound program in West Lafayette. Fell in love with the campus, took college classes, got to Purdue, and man, my life turned upside down because of the rigor. We weren't prepared for the rigor. However, I met Miss Miriam Blaylock. Jesus, that woman scared me to life. She was so hardcore, but she loved us. She loved us, but she held us accountable. But she encouraged us to let us know that we could be successful. And then all the wraparound programs that they had for us, and the students, the upperclassmen, were so engaging. They took us, the freshmen, under their wing and told us, what you doing on such and such a night? Be at so-and-so at 7 o'clock. You're going to be at this NSBE meeting. And that was that. So we showed up. And that's how I got my NSBE, introduced to NSBE, to see a room full of Black people, young people, taking these classes from everywhere, and everybody just loving on you and being supportive. That's what got me. And that's why I stayed. And then people just, understood what we were going through, because what we understood was that we were not adequately prepared coming from the inner city. But they gave us enough support and encouragement and partnered with us to keep us in the fold. That's what kept me in engineering. And when I went to NASA and saw the other side of the politics, right, of how Blacks weren't, that just wasn't a commonplace for us. So because we're there, we're expected to behave and carry ourselves appropriately. I was fortunate to have 2 Black male mentors that talked about me, but shaped me up and grew me up and encouraged me. Dr. Julian Earls, he encouraged me through my entire undergraduate experience and then molded me as a co-op in professional life. And then he had one of his cohorts also mentor me and make sure I had good work assignment. But understanding the work world prepared me for when I got out of school. So I understood the politics. I understood the assignments and the unspokens, right? And the undercurrents. And it prepared me early on for being a technical professional. The do's and the don'ts, the unspoken lessons, how to receive bad news. Then how to prepare yourself and carry yourself in this organization, right? In a culture, understand the organizational culture. So I couldn't go in looking like I wanted to look because that was not the culture, right? And then understanding how I behave is going to, make or break what somebody else does, coming behind me. So I was always molded and trained that way. So when I got my I finally graduated. I said finally graduated. When my transition to the professional work world wasn't as traumatic. So my first job was in Lynchburg, Virginia in 1990. So I went to Lynchburg and worked for Babcock & Wilcox, a subsidiary making submarines. That place scared me. I went, I accepted a job, sight unseen, right? Got to start somewhere. Might as well. Mechanical, you can do anything. Making money. The money was good. I went for the money. And so I had to buy a car. I had to get an apartment. I had to get my wardrobe together, grown folks' clothes, right? And had to get a security clearance. And they were saying it would take about 6 to 9 months to get a clearance. And my first day on the base, I cried because it was like a prison environment with the barbed wire and everything all around. I was like, Lord Jesus, what have I gotten myself into at Mount Athos, Virginia? And then you get in there and the security guards have real bullets. I didn't know. And, so once I got in the gate, I was good, but I cried for 3 months. But once I got acclimated and got, my clearance went through real quick, they said, you must live real close to Jesus. Nobody's clearance goes through that quick. I said, I guess I do. But, but the experience there was fabulous. Once I got. I understood then as I think, oh my gosh, now that there were only 2 Black female engineers, me and this other girl. Imagine that. 1 Black manager, male. But that was it. And that's what NSBE lulls you into, right? You think because we see each other, we all together, but we are all together, but we're all spread out. So when we see each other, man, that's why we have such a good time when we see each other. Because this is where we get we get built back up to go back into the world and fight. Oh, I remember I was at convention in New York and I said, let me go check out, and I was doing a presentation, presenting. And I said, let me go and figure out, see what my region is doing, Region 4. Go in there, and there were no people running for offices. I was like, are you kidding me? So it was me and my girl, Angela Jones, and her girlfriend, and Keisha Johnson. We looked at, now I didn't know Keisha and I didn't know Angela. We looked at each other and said, we're going to do this. Next thing you know, I walked out of there with a regional position and said, this was absolutely ridiculous that we don't have people serving. What is really going on, right? But I knew that everything that NSBE had poured into me I had to give back on a higher level. Throughout my entire life, I've always wanted to leave things better than where I found it, right? And then understanding that the importance behind making sure that other people can experience some level of success too. Because if I can be an engineer coming from where I come from, you can. And, just having that level of support there, because I'm telling you, my NSBE family, they undergirded me and others like me to the point where we could lean on each other to get through. And so I have to make sure I can do that too. And I'm always, when I'm talking to young people, and adults as well, about why do you want this position? Because it's not about the stuff. It's about the work. It's about the work. And so what I always emphasized was a level of service, servant leadership, and understanding what that really entails. And so whenever I do anything, it's always with a level of service first. It's not about the accolades. I think the accolades come later as a result of your body of work.